What's up, cigar junkies? It's your boy Carson, also known as Ashhead, and I am the cigar junkie. And today we will be smoking and reviewing the Rocky Patel 50th anniversary on Ashhead TV today. Guys, if you have been watching the channel, you may have seen the last video. And the last video, we smoked and reviewed the Fuente Opus X Lost City. And this is another video in the series of Is It Worth It? We are smoking cigars that have a heavier price point or a more expensive price point, and we're determining whether or not, by my opinion, if the cigar is worth the price. This video, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I am going to also introduce some other cigars in the Rocky Patel line that may be better or just as good as the expensive cigar in a more comfortable price. And that will be for the people who are definitely not going to pay the $18.99, which this cigar retails at, or in the case of the Opus X Lost City, the $30 to $31 where that cigar was priced at. And we're going to start out by putting a nice V cut on this cigar. And we're going to do a dry pull. On that dry pull, I get like a cookie-like flavor note, very sweet tobacco. I'm going to pull off the foot band on this one, and I'm gonna light it up. This cigar has a Habano seed Oscuro wrapper that was grown in Ecuador with Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan fillers. And we have a good light. So far, started out with some mild flavor notes. Guys, we're gonna give this cigar time to heat up. And about a half of an inch of the way in, after all the tobaccos have had an opportunity to heat up, I'm gonna talk about some more flavor notes and the experience with this Rocky Patel 50th. So far, I'm only about a half of an inch in. My ash fell off, and my burn is kind of wavy here. Nothing to cause any concerns as of yet, but I think I may have to have an early touch up on this cigar. But flavor notes that I'm getting from the cigar so far, I am getting that pepper flavor note here at the beginning of this cigar. I am getting those sweet notes of tobacco as well. And you know what? It has been a fairly good start on the side of the flavor, but I am getting just a little anxious about the burn on this cigar. I'm gonna smoke this cigar down past the first third, about to the halfway point, and then I'm gonna let you guys know how good it's getting. One other thing before I continue to smoke. Retrohale. A mild retrohale with hints of pepper and more of those sweet tobacco flavor notes. This is a very good tasting cigar. Very great flavor notes. I wasn't really expecting this cigar to really taste as good as it has been tasting here from the start. But again, let's smoke it down some. Guys, before we go any further, I have to make a correction on that price I quoted you towards the beginning of the video. This Rocky Patel 50th anniversary cigar has a price point of $21 to $22 depending on the area that you're in and how your taxes are running in that area. But guys, so far so good. I am through the first third of this cigar, transitioning into the second third of this 6.5 by 52 ring gauge box press. Now this cigar, the one that I am smoking, is actually a re-release. This cigar was released years ago. In 2012, Cigar Aficionado rated this cigar very highly, and it was number 8 in their top 25 in 2012. Right now at this point of the cigar, it's just an average cigar to me. A good cigar, but just average by far so far at this point in the cigar. I'm getting some black pepper in this cigar, still getting those consistent sweet notes of tobacco in this cigar, like a cinnamon spice as well on this cigar. The retrohale at this point is very mild retrohale, surprisingly, because I'm getting that cinnamon spice and I'm getting that black pepper, but I don't get any of that on the retrohale. I just get those sweet tobacco notes. So this is a very good cigar to retrohale while you're smoking it. But guys, let's smoke this guy down a little bit more, so we can hopefully get into the goodness of the cigar. And I didn't have to touch the cigar up like I was thinking. The burn has been wavy, hasn't been a great burn on the cigar at all, but nothing that got out of control, nothing that got out of hand. It just doesn't burn razor sharp, and that's not bad. A lot of people get concerned about cigars that don't burn razor sharp. Now, at a certain price point, I understand if you're expecting the cigar to burn razor sharp. But in this case, for a $22 cigar, it's not burning razor sharp. It's just wavy, but that's really nothing. That's really nothing to say. Some people will knock off points for that. Some people will say, well, at that price point, it shouldn't burn that way. But to me, that's not a big concern. It's not affecting my draw. It's not affecting the flavor notes of the cigar or anything like that. I'm not irritated or bothered by it. I just wanted to point that out in the event that you do notice it on camera. Again, I'm gonna smoke it down some, and I'm gonna come back and talk about some more flavor notes or any changes that may occur, if any. Guys, made it to the band on the cigar, and I am puffing along on this Rocky Patel 50th anniversary. Retrohale, still getting that sweet tobacco flavor note in the retrohale. It has gotten a little spicier. The one thing that has been most consistent in this cigar is the pepper. Not offensive pepper, but the pepper and spice that you get from Nicaraguan tobacco, with this cigar having that Nicaraguan in the filler. And I'm getting some coffee flavor notes. So the complexity on this cigar is pretty fair. The strength on this cigar is definitely been medium throughout the cigar. As I transition in the second third, right before I get to the final third, that sweet tobacco flavor note that I was tasting has been muted. I wish it would have stayed. I wish it would have came back. But guys, the Rocky Patel line, Rocky Patel has an extensive cigar line. There are many cigars in the Rocky Patel line, a whole lot to choose from, and there are a lot of cigars that will fit your flavor profile if you're looking for something to smoke in that line. I want to mention 3 of my favorites by Rocky Patel. One is the Special Reserve Sun-Grown Maduro. If you look way back in my videos, you will see a review on this cigar. 2 is the Vintage Cameroon, which is probably my favorite cigar by Rocky Patel. And 3 will probably be my second favorite cigar by Rocky Patel is the Rocky Patel Decade. The Rocky Patel Decade is actually a higher rated cigar than the Rocky Patel 50th that I'm smoking. All 3 of these cigars have a price point between $10 to $12. So with this cigar being priced at around $21, $22, maybe even $23 cigar, and if I'm comparing it to those 3 cigars in the line, and all cigars have different blends. The Decade is from the same Honduran origin as this cigar that I am smoking now. I would say that this cigar isn't worth the $22.89, which it retails for here in Birmingham at Cigars and More. It is, in my opinion, it's not worth that price because there are many more cigars in the line that, in my opinion, are better cigars than the one I am smoking. One thing you have found that has been consistent in this series, being the 3rd video of the series, is that none of the cigars that I have smoked that are considered expensive cigars have lived up to the price point, because there has always been something in the line of those expensive cigars that I have had a better experience smoking. I am not saying that this is a bad cigar. Is this a cigar that I will smoke again? Probably not, because if I can go to Rocky Patel and I can always pick up a Rocky Patel Decade, I would rather smoke this than the Rocky Patel 50th. I would rather smoke the Vintage Cameroon than the Rocky Patel 50th. I would rather smoke the Sun-Grown Maduro than the Rocky Patel 50th. So that makes this cigar for me, again, not worth the $22.89 that it retails here for me. But it's not a bad smoke. The experience has been average. Smoking this cigar, I prefer to retrohale it. And I will ask, if you've tried this cigar before, comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you felt like this cigar was worth the price when you smoked it, and your experience with the Rocky Patel 50th anniversary. I'm going to continue to smoke this cigar on down. I may even nub it out because this is probably gonna be my last cigar for the night. And I do like the strength of this cigar. So, thank you for watching. Ashhead out.